Let's go. We are live. I might have some of you guys join in the audience if you're listening on Discord. Hey everybody, welcome to the second installment of the LavaCast. Today's topic is going to be which one is better. We're going to settle the debate, BONELAB or BONEWORKS. It's a big question that we've all asked ourselves. There's always a common answer. And we're going to get to the bottom of it. We're going to talk about all sorts of things to do with BONELAB, BONEWORKS. I should open stream avatars. I'm going to get that up for you guys. I'm also going to promote my stream. This is really delayed. I'm sorry, everyone. I really fucked up. LavaCast episode. So, is my camera on? Wait, no one can see my camera yet because it's not on. Well, it's on, but it's not on screen, duh. Okay. I haven't set up anything really unique for this. I apologize. It's good to have you guys all here, though. We got 72 people. It's great. If you guys speak in chat, you should appear on screen. If you're in the Discord server, by the way, there's also a thing right now. Stage open, where you can listen live, and I'll invite a few people on to voice their opinions soon. Cole's been a member for 6 months. Half a year is crazy. Keep up this amazing content, man. Here's to another 6 months. Thank you very much for supporting me for that long, man. It means a lot. It's awesome. Fates, what's up? I see you in chat. Appreciate your support, Coles. You've always been there. Okay, what's up, everyone? We've got no specific guest today. In the first episode of LavaCast, we had Happy Go Crazy from Stress Level 0, the guy who does the trailers and some of the level design. That was like the coolest experience of my life. What a way to launch a podcast, eh? And now we're back. I don't know. I'm just kind of winging this. I haven't actually set anything up. I have got a few notes written down. So we're going to talk about who did it better, BONELAB or BONEWORKS. So like, who did the levels better? Who did the, you know, who has the best character or something like that? I don't know, some stupid shit. So I haven't actually got, yeah, there's none of the scenes are set up right. So it's going to be mostly this scene, I think, for most of the stream. Not good. Okay. Well, hey everyone, how you doing? Welcome. It's good to see you all again. Yeah, these are all empty scenes, so I should stop going through them. Okay, what we need to do, I was going to do this before, but I had to do something just as I was about to start, so it kind of messed up a little. Let me get some new text on screen. So, BONELAB versus BONEWORKS. The first question we are going to ask ourselves is... Wait, code bold. BONELAB. BONEWORKS. Okay. I'm gonna put the score up top. 0-0. Check it out. This is not good. This shouldn't be on this scene. What do I do? Duplicate. Yes. Guys, I'm sorry. This is not a good time for this to be happening. Right, I've duplicated the scene. What I'm going to do is we're going to just rearrange some things. If I put myself up in the top, I guess. This ain't good. Okay. BONELAB and BONEWORKS. 0-0. There we go. We got it set up. So. I also want some more text, actually. We're going to start by... debate. So. BONELAB or BONEWORKS, guys? I want your initial opinion. Which one do you guys prefer, BONELAB or BONEWORKS? Say in chat. I should make a poll, actually. BONELAB, 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 BONEWORKS, BONEWORKS. Okay, we'll make a poll later on. We'll do a poll. But for now, we'll just, yeah. Seems like there's a lot more BONELAB, which is good, because I feel like the majority used to be BONEWORKS. BONELAB, okay. That's the general consensus. So, we'll start with talking about which game has the best tutorial. So obviously BONEWORKS has Break Room, the museum, some of the most legendary tutorial levels there's ever been. But then there's also BONELAB has got Descent, one of the best levels in the whole of BONELAB. So it's like, that's actually tough because the museum is iconic as anything. The Break Room, everyone's saying BONEWORKS, okay. But when I think about it, it's tough because it's like, uh-oh, my camera fell. But yeah, the general thing. Okay, this ain't gonna work. This is soft. I'm just gonna do that. Whatever. Okay, this camera's gonna suck, but it's whatever. BONEWORKS generally, because obviously, I don't know. Yeah, BONELAB doesn't explain anything. Void Dweller, you're right. That's the thing about BONELAB's campaign is, or tutorial, is that BONELAB's campaign isn't really a tutorial. It's like, well, it kind of is, but it's not, because like in BONEWORKS, it's a good way to be a tutorial, but also not be a tutorial, which doesn't make sense. But you know what I mean. It's like it shows you the normal stuff of the game without actually telling you. Well, it does tell you some things, but you know, it doesn't hold your hand through it. Neither does BONELAB. But BONELAB is more of a thing where it's like, oh, you've played BONEWORKS before this. Welcome back. Here's the changes. It's a faster tutorial. There are a few people which don't like the length of the museum and Break Room, or Break Room's short, but you know, it goes into the museum. But Descent is like, I don't know. It's actually, that is a tough one. I don't know which one I prefer personally. It seems you guys all think BONEWORKS, which I respect. I'm going to open the stream real quick. Okay. Oh, Bam's streaming soon. We can raid him after the stream. That's cool. Hopefully, I think. Okay, stream's up. So, we'll just do a poll. We'll do some polls today. Why not, right? Make it interesting. So, which has the better tutorial? BONEWORKS. Okay, actually, I'm looking at this from the wrong perspective, right? Because BONELAB's tutorial could be infinitely better. No. What was I saying? I don't understand. Okay, sorry, I'm confusing myself now. But like, if we're looking at this from a tutorial perspective, BONEWORKS is better. That's kind of a thing, right? Because like BONELAB's tutorial isn't a tutorial really. It's like, hey, this is how you smack a skeleton, I guess. Alright, BONEWORKS, BONELAB, yeah. Who's listening on Discord? Who we got? Rex. We got Rex, Meg, Toms, Coles. Nice, good to see everyone. Hope you guys are doing good. But yeah. Yeah, oh wow, okay. 80% BONEWORKS, 20% BONELAB. So, yeah. BONEWORKS is the better tutorial. I have got to agree with you guys. I was seeing it from a perspective of like, which level do I like more? But that's not the point in rating it as a tutorial, because of course, like, Descent could be the best level ever, and Museum could be the worst level ever. If Museum's a better tutorial, then that makes BONEWORKS win still. So yeah, that just makes sense. BONEWORKS, I think, has gained its first point in terms of tutorials. BoneWorks is better. BoneWorks 1, BoneLab 0. But I'm sure that's going to change soon. Let me close that poll. Thank you for voting, everybody. This is fun. This is really unprepared and unprofessional, but you know what? It's whatever. So, BoneWorks is the better tutorial. What other notes did I have wrote down? I had... Okay. Here we go. This is a fun one. This is an interesting one. Let's change tutorial to... Which game has the better enemies? Because I'm sure you guys know BoneLab and BoneWorks have different null bodies. The null body got a retexture in BoneLab. And in fact, I'm going to take some of you guys in chat right now because I know that some of you in chat are these null bodies. Here you go. We've got Adams. I'm going to pin you there. And we've got Fates. I'm going to pin you there. There we go. That's just a little reminder of what the null bodies look like. They're down that way. There they are. BoneLab Omnis are better. 100%. That's the thing. BoneLab's got better Omnis. That's just a, you know, that's truth. But you guys like BoneWorks NPCs more? Wow. Okay. But yeah. Think about it. BoneWorks has more limited NPCs, but it has different designs because BoneWorks also has the old corrupted null body. I'm going to take Mr. Banana GT, and I'm going to take VR Enthusiast. On the left is the BoneLab corrupted null bodies. In BoneWorks, you used to have these corrupted null bodies. These look really cool. Early exits also look a lot better in BoneLab, in my opinion, but they basically look the same. But I think early exits have been improved. Skeletons didn't exist in BoneWorks, so none of the skeletons did. In BoneWorks you had... But the thing is, BoneWorks, right, had 4 heads. BoneLab doesn't have 4 heads. BoneWorks also had 4 VR junkies. And BoneLab had them for a bit, but they decided to remove them. So, there's no VR junkies in BoneLab. There's no 4 head in BoneLab. There's no Omni Roller in BoneLab. Omni Roller? Omni Wrecker. But I mean, what is the Omni Wrecker? What does that do? Nothing. So it doesn't really matter. But that is a talking point. Null Rats also got a redesign. Null Rats look better, but now they're really low poly, which I don't know if I like that too much. Crablets also have less polys in BoneLab. So, what do you guys say? Do you think BoneLab has better NPCs than BoneWorks? Because the ones we do have look great. But we did lose quite a few. Crablets lost their polys. Null Rats lost their polys. Omni Projectors look 10 times better. It's tough. It's tough. I think I'd probably say BoneLab. Just because of the wider variety and stuff like the null body agents. Put Person McGee up there. Null body agent. They're super cool. Because in BoneWorks, a lot of the NPCs, if not all of them, have the same health values. So like, you don't really have different kind of health values you can mess with. Where BoneLab has stuff like the steel skeletons, which actually are taller too, which is interesting. It's an NPC that's not, you know, just the same height as everything else, which is cool, and it's heavier. So they did start to dip into the more unique side of NPCs and stuff in BoneLab. Okay, we'll do a poll. So, who has the better NPCs, guys? Let me make a poll. Better NPCs. BoneWorks or BoneLab? I spelled BoneWorks wrong. Hold up. There we go. Vote. The poll is in chat. Let's see. Oh, okay. BONELAB's winning so far, so... It's a tough one. That is honestly a tough one. These are all quite tough, because, like, BONEWORKS... That's the thing. It's hard to judge these two games, because they both have things on each other. Like, you know, BONEWORKS is better in some aspects, but then BONELAB tops it in another way. So it's, like, really hard. Early exit zombie headset. I forgot that was even a spawnable in BONEWORKS. You're so right, Duplex. Oh my god. Because, yeah, in BONELAB, no NPCs can wear helmets anymore. That used to be a thing. They're not really comparable. Well, that's what we're here for today. You can compare anything if you try hard enough. Some NPCs look better on BONEWORKS, like null bodies, and some look better in BONELAB. Yeah, I can agree. Not about the null bodies though, and that's our next question. So it looks like BONELAB won this one. BONELAB wins, guys. Let's knock up BONELAB to 1. Okay, the next question is, who has the better null body? Which game has the better null body? BONEWORKS or BONELAB? That's the main one. This just comes down to opinion. There's no right answer with this. I'll put Draco up there. Is anyone the normal? Yes, Boneless MT. Boneless. There we go. You guys are the example. Which null body do you guys prefer? The poll's still up. Let me close that. BONEWORKS. People prefer the BONEWORKS one. Okay. But nulls are better. They have better structure, and I think they're so much funnier to mess around with. I honestly, I don't know. I think I'd say BONELAB null bodies are better in terms of like looks, and in terms of everything really. They are just better in terms of everything else. But BONEWORKS null bodies are like a legacy now. They're like the OGs, you know what I mean? Like, they look great. So it's a tough one. Okay, is my desktop audio unmuted? It is. Okay. Is there Michael Wyckoff music playing right now, by the way, guys? What song is playing? I don't even know. BONELAB null body looks better in the dark. I can agree with that too, because they have a real cool bright light, which is awesome. Yo! We just got a member. Slash bracket O hyphen O bracket slash. Welcome to Constrainer. Damn, that's the higher roll. Thank you very much for joining as a member. I appreciate it. You're the guy who gifted the five memberships as well, right? Oh, speaking of, yo, they gifted another one. MythicVR, welcome to the squad. Thank you. I don't know how to say your name in an abbreviation or like fast. How do I say that? What do I do? Another one? Stop. Okay. Sorry. Leafy, welcome to the members. Thank you so much, whatever your name is. Let me find your NPC. I'm going to pin you on the screen. You guys can get down. Goodbye. Where is OW, or whatever his name is? There he is. He's Ford. Come here. Oh, there we go. All right, Ford. You're up. You're in the middle. There he is. Cole's gifted one too. Dan Red VR, welcome to the Constrainers or whatever you joined as. Oh my god. Coles, where are you? I'm gonna pin you as well. I can't find you. Hold up, we're getting distracted. This is crazy. What's going on? Wait. How many? Wait, they did like 4, 3, 4. What the? Hey, you guys gotta chill. Okay. Thank you all very much. Holy shit. JoJoRune Kris, thanks for being a member for 5 months. What is going on? Okay, sorry, I'm distracted right now. Holy shit. I appreciate you guys' support. And also, all of those that just joined as a member. The next This Week in BONELAB episode is up for you right now. You can watch it a day early on the channel. Watch it after this, though. Don't leave. Don't leave. We need you. We need your votes. But thank you. Holy shit. You guys are awesome. Alright, where were we? So, Nullbody, BONELAB, and BONEWORKS. In my opinion, BONELAB. I think BONELAB's got the better Nullbody, but I am interested in what's going to win the poll. So we'll do a poll now. Better Nullbody, BONEWORKS, or BONELAB. What do you guys think? BONEWORKS or BONELAB? What has the better Nullbody? What's the avatar commands? I don't remember. Exclamation mark avatar, exclamation mark avatars, and then whatever the name of the avatar is, I think. I can't remember. So you can BONELAB helps you find mods a lot of the time. I'm happy to help. Thank you very much. Happy it helps you. Yeah, there's a few avatars. I think Ochichungus might be disabled right now, Chris. I'm very sorry. That is a age-old Wigwam meme now. Wow. I'm not that old, but you know. Okay, what's the vote saying? It's very close. But people are saying the BONEWORKS one's better. Wow. 51% BONEWORKS, 49% BONELAB. I am surprised. BONEWORKS is just way too iconic. It has become iconic. VR Junkie optimized. You can see his hairline. Really? I've never noticed that. That's crazy. $50-50. Does that mean I'm the deciding factor? Oh no, it's always changing. Come on, guys. Cast your votes. Because otherwise, it's good. I can't believe how tight it is. That is really cool. How do you get avatars on screen? You simply talk in chat. And you'll spawn in for a certain amount of time. Alright, I found Coles. There's Coles. It's Coles. Where did this face guy go? I don't know how to say that name. How do I say that name? Thank you very much for your gifts and stuff. There he is. There we go. You're a legend, but I can't say your name. What do I call you? Surprised face? I don't know. Okay, what's the vote saying? 50-50, really? How does that happen? How does that happen, guys? Okay, my face is like... There we go, turn it white. 50-50. Oh, BONELAB's winning. Any last voters to make BONEWORKS win? Oh, it's going up and down. BONELAB 53, BONEWORKS 47. Considering that my vote is also BONELAB, I think... I think BONELAB's got this one, guys. Yep, who's got the better Nullbody? It's close, but I'm pretty sure it's BONELAB. I didn't know how. I thought more people changed to. Thought more people changed to liking the BONELAB Nullbody now. But wow, it's still close. I didn't know how many people still liked the BONEWORKS one. I respect that. Well, who's in the stage? So look. Hello everyone on the stage. It's good to see ya. I might have some people on in a minute for an opinion. We'll see. Make it quick and easy though, don't say some bullshit. Okay, what else did I have noted down? Let's see. Okay, so overall, which game has the better? This one's going to be very tough. No, it's not actually. This one's not going to be tough. I just realized. Okay, guys, which game has the best levels? So let's think about this. Right? Let's not say BoneWorks straight away. Okay, let's give BoneLab the benefit. So BoneLab has Ascent, Descent, Big Anomaly, Pillar Climb is good. I don't care what you say. Yeah. It has Big Bone Bowling. Tuscany's back, but I mean Tuscany's a BoneWorks map, so does that count? No. And Tuscany lost the butterflies in patch 4 as well, patch 5, so sorry Tuscany. Titan Pikmin, what's up? Good to see you. Interesting seeing you on a BoneLab stream. Yeah. Do we have any BoneLab defenders in chat? BoneLab is more polished. Benjamin. That's what I'm talking about. That's the type of stuff I like to hear. Okay, I'm going to ask the LavaCast, the Premier chat, not Premier chat, the stage. Yo, people in the stage. Does anyone want to come on and defend BoneLab? Say in chat. Be honest. Everyone said yeah and then instantly said no. No one even wants to stick up for BoneLab. Okay. Yep, nobody wants to stick up for BoneLab. Wow. Alright, Colz. You gotta say something. I'm gonna get Colz in. You gotta say something good about BoneLab over BoneWorks. Welcome to the stream. Wait, try speaking. Are you? I don't know if you can be heard. Hang on, let me change it. Oh wait, yeah, it's my issue. Wait, try speak now.
What's good?
There we go. Okay. Defend BoneLab.
So, even though I do prefer BoneWorks, I can back BoneLab by saying like some of the levels are a lot more in depth in the sense that there's more secrets and like off the path type areas. You know what I mean? Like Ascent, for example, you have like the room with the vent in it and the gun case that you can get to by using small, which shows that avatars can be used freely. But BoneLab didn't do enough of the avatar switching, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. You can beat the campaign so easily without like ever changing. That's the sad part.
I mean, I think, yeah, I think if BoneLab was a lot less like, you know, avatar tutorial levels and it like because it doesn't promote avatar changing, if you know what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
So I think if it did a lot more promotion of like changing avatars to reach other areas and it didn't beat the avatar like intro levels as just a tutorial kind of thing, I think I'd prefer BoneLab levels over it.
Yeah, but BoneLab is just kind of a tutorial.
Yeah, it is. It's sad to see. There's like 3 good lore levels and then you just have like the avatar levels and that's just an entire that's like a whole new can of worms to open.
Yeah. No. BoneWorks is just better. It's sad. BoneLab's good for its own reasons, but BoneWorks has got better levels.
It does.
Alright, thank you for your opinion.
No problem.
I don't know how I get rid of you.
I'll just leave. Thank you for having me, bro.
See ya. Right, there we go. That is one opinion, guys. And the opinion didn't even really defend BoneLab. It was just like, BoneLab would be better if it did this. Because, I mean, what are you meant to say? I think Descent, Ascent, Big Anomaly, Pillar Climb. I don't care, Pillar Climb's good. Descent, Ascent, Big Anomaly, Pillar Climb. What other good ones are there? I mean, I like all the maps, right? But Descent, Ascent, and Big Anomaly especially. I'll leave Pillar Climb out. Those three are great maps. But the thing is, when your competition is BoneWorks, which has every level is a banger back to back, you just can't compete, right? So it's tough. It is tough. Because the one thing especially what made BoneWorks so special is that you could do basically any parts of the level in most levels, whichever way you wanted to. There's multiple ways around things and stuff like that. And in BoneLab that doesn't really exist. You can do the long run puzzle in like 2-3 different ways maybe. That's it. So yeah. Let's get the poll up, guys. Now that I've convinced you that BoneLab is better, which one has the better levels? Better levels. Is it BoneWorks or BoneLab? I'm sure we all know the answer. After my convincing story, it's BoneLab, but we'll see what the public has to say about that. Okay. It's not looking good. Although, where did this 25% of BoneLab come from, eh? Who were the silent defenders? Is there some of you in chat? Or maybe Stress Level 0 is watching and they prefer BoneLab. I don't know. Still BoneWorks. Better but shorter levels? Wow, that's not something I've heard before. They definitely are shorter, and maybe some people like shorter levels more. Although they did add the checkpoints to BoneWorks, which makes the levels a bit better. Yo, BoneLab defenders, I see you. Have you guys played BoneWorks before? I've got a feeling you haven't. Okay, I'm thirsty. Let me get a drink. You know what all the good streamers say? Stay hydrated, chat. Not played BoneWorks. Well, there you go. I respect the opinion that BoneLab is better, though. But in my opinion, just experiencing BoneWorks, it's like, oh wow. It's just, it is better. Because BoneLab isn't meant to have a story that's meant to be expansive and stuff like that, you know. It's meant to just be a modding tutorial. To be like, hey, here's avatars. You can mess with this if you want. Go make mods. That's what the campaign is. It's still good, though. I like it. If BoneLab was a standalone game, away from BoneWorks ever existing, then I think it would be widely appreciated. It would be like, wow, this is cool. But when BoneWorks is your competition, like I said, it's like, oh wow, okay. So, what's the poll like? Okay, you guys have a chance to save BoneLab. Nope, not gonna happen. 78% BoneWorks, they smashed that one. Everyone knows BoneWorks has better levels. It's the sad truth. Maybe the next game will have better levels than BoneWorks though. I sure hope so. And I'm hoping so. Okay, so right now we're tied. 2-2. What is the next topic? Well, next up I want to talk about I saw a few people mention it in chat. We've got to talk about the OST. For those of you that don't know what that means, that is original soundtrack. Which game has the better original soundtrack? Discuss amongst yourselves. This is the tough one. This is a tough one. Because, thing is with the soundtrack, right? So BONELAB, for those of you who don't know, has double, I think, almost double or over double the amount of songs that the BONEWORKS soundtrack had. But the BONELAB soundtrack is more experimental. It's very unorganized. It's just a bunch of stuff. And also, like, half of that shit ain't even used, bro. And they just removed it doobie grooving from the game too. So it's like, wow. And then BONEWORKS has less songs, but they fit every single scenario perfectly. And there also isn't those infamous fart songs in BONEWORKS. In BONELAB, we all know the fart songs. You got Fabric of Reality, the one that plays in Sprint Bridge. Lava Gang plays at the start of Ascent. Bone Daddy, it is used now. Bone Daddy's used now. That's a fart beat. There's at least 3, and I know there's more. I think Bone Step is a fart beat as well, so it's 4. Bone Step's used in Neon District. But don't fence me in that. Yeah, Adams, you're right. Don't fence me in. That is an argue point. Don't fence me in exists in the BONELAB OST. That's the thing. It's tough. This one is really tough because it's like less songs in BONEWORKS OST, but they fit better. Loads more in BONELAB. Half of them aren't used, but they're still really damn good. They don't fit the scenes as well, like the My Control playing in Long Run in that puzzle segment. That's not puzzle music to me. It doesn't add up. But it's weird. It's weird. I love all the songs. When I first heard some of the songs in the BONELAB OST, I was like, this is weird. But now I've listened to them a lot. I'm just like, I love this. It could literally be the most terrible, most ass-ripping type beat, and I would still say, yo, this is fire. But still, which did it better? It's too tough. And Goo is in BONELAB. Goo is just peak. Fistfight Fuge is class. Fistfight Fuge is great. It's a fan favorite. But then BONEWORKS has got the museum theme. It's got Midnight Void. See, look, G-Jack, you got it. Who Am I? Sunset Arthur, Bone theme. I honestly, I could list the entire soundtrack as my favorite because it's got Light Shine Through. Light Shine Through that plays when you beat the campaign. Oh my god. That shit is heavenly. Can we put Light Shine Through on right now? Let's do it. Let's put Light Shine Through on. How do I do this? Properties. That's the wrong thing. Hold up, hold up. We're getting Light Shine Through on. Micah Wickoff. Where is L in the alphabet? I forgot. There it is, there it is. Okay. Oh, it's one of his collab tracks though, so I'm going to go to the bottom. Little Torskyy. Light Shine Through. Okay. This beat alone is just wow. But then it's like, this beat, you know, this beat makes BONEWORKS solo. But then you look at BONELAB and it's like, wait, BONELAB has Goo. It's impossible. BONELAB has Smoke Halls, that's true. But then BONEWORKS, what's the Smoke Halls alternative in BONEWORKS? Subtle Aggression, I guess. I mean, there isn't really a competitor in BONEWORKS. BONELAB solos, guys. BONELAB wins this one. No. All right. All right. I'm torn. I'm gonna ask you guys. Here comes the poll. Best OST. Which one is it, guys? BONELAB or BONEWORKS? House of Monogon. See, look, every song is a talking point in both of the soundtracks because every song is so good. In my opinion. It's impossible. I'm gonna let you guys decide. I need to actually think of a definitive answer. I think I've got more out of the BONELAB soundtrack because just of how many more songs there are. I've been able to listen to them more because, you know, it's not as repetitive, obviously, because there's more. But BONEWORKS' songs in the actual game itself, they fit so much better. Well, I shouldn't say so much better, because they fit good in BONELAB too, mostly. But in BONEWORKS, there's not a case where a song doesn't fit. In BONELAB, there's a few where it's like, this is weird. Midnight Void, when you're at the end of the game, you're climbing the ladder, and it's like, da, 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 da. That hits different. Every time I go back to that, I get goosebumps, man. BONELAB doesn't hit as hard, but it still hits hard. That's the problem. BONELAB is mostly dragged down by the fact that BONEWORKS exists, which is the sad part. Because if BONEWORKS didn't exist, BONELAB would be like up there. People would be like, wow, this is a peak. So it's not that BONELAB is bad, it's that BONEWORKS indirectly makes BONELAB look bad, even though BONELAB isn't bad. If that makes sense. I don't know. Because it's like, you think about BONELAB, you're like, wow, this game's cool. And then you just see the shadow of BONEWORKS, like behind BONELAB. Just like, ha 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 ha. What did you say? It's hard. It always feels so much more like background music. Yeah, it fits the moment so much well. I suppose maybe Jimmy's playing the music through his radio. And that's why we're hearing random ass shit when we're doing stuff that shouldn't sound like it should have that music. I don't know. There are two types of BONELAB songs, amazing, and the other looks like they put bees in a jar. I love that. Just put bees in a jar. BONELAB doesn't hit hard, but my crowbar does on a nobody. That's true. But which game does the crowbar hit harder in? Wow. Maybe that should be our next question, eh? So, best OST, what did you guys say? 40% BONELAB, 60% BONEWORKS. Wow, that's a surprise. Okay. Personally, I think I'd say BONELAB just for personal reasons, for using it in videos and stuff, but I'll let you guys give BONEWORKS that one. You guys are basically going to decide the answer on this stream. Alright, BONELAB's got to bring it back. So let's go to our next question about hitting hard with a crowbar. Now, which game does melee combat feel better in? That's right. We're about to bring it back. Because if you say BONEWORKS on this one, you're fucking crazy. I'm sorry. Are there any BONEWORKS defenders in chat for this one? Which game has the better melee? BONEWORKS or BONELAB? BONEWORKS has more of an impact when you hit. That is a lie, GJack. Holy shit. It is literally the opposite. When you hit stuff in BONEWORKS, it feels like if you hit something with like a sledgehammer, I don't like a sledgehammer in BONEWORKS much. When you hit stuff in BONEWORKS, it feels like whatever you've hit them with is covered in butter, especially your hands. If you hit some over your fist, it feels like you got butter, smeared that shit all up your arm, on the hand, you know, like that, and you hit something, and it just goes, it just slides off. Even if you do get an impact, you just slide. It doesn't feel impactful. In BONELAB, that's something they actually changed, where they made it so when you punch something, there's kind of recoil. Like when you hit a null body, their head will fling back. Like there's actual power on the punch. No pun intended. Power puncher, you know. Most melee was fun with super strength and slow motion. Yeah, you're right. That was kind of awesome. But BONELAB solos, that's true. BONELAB took that and just turned it into the heavy avatar. Like, come on. Oh, I was gonna say something. And this isn't. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. This isn't to say that BONEWORKS combat was bad, because it was great for its time, in my opinion. It's definitely aged. That's the problem with BONEWORKS. It's aged quite a lot now, especially now we're seeing improvements to BONELAB. It puts BONEWORKS even further behind. Yeah, I'd say BONELAB has this one. Let's see the poll. What do you guys got to say? Let's see. While I'm making the poll, anyone want to defend BONEWORKS? GJack, do you want to get up on the stage? Better melee. GJack, are you in the stage right now? Let me check. Put the poll up for you guys. So which game was the best melee? BONELAB or BONEWORKS? GJack, I see you. Get in here, buddy. Okay. I see you in the audience. Can I invite you? Is there a way I can do that? I don't know if I can do that. Too scared, GJack. You're a coward. Won't stand up to the stream. GJack, can you request? Oh, there we go. Alright. Come on in, buddy.
Yay.
GJack.
Okay, so BONEWORKS. Hey, Wiggy.
Hello.
So BONEWORKS is far better because I like how like when you hit something, everything's like louder and it's the jank feels peak. Like, hear me out for a minute. Like, I like how if you hit something, it's a little janky and it doesn't feel like you're actually hitting it. I don't know why, but it feels more real. And all the sounds, there's like a lot more like hit sounds. Especially if you like go to grab something, you'll notice your hand will like just like cling to it and stick to it in BONEWORKS way more than like BONELAB's soft grab. I don't like that. I like the grippy stuff. I like it grippy. So, you know, if like I go up to a null body, right, in BONELAB and I stab him, it's super soft, the knife goes straight in. But if you go up to a null body in BONEWORKS and you stab it, there's a lot of like hit effects. It's a little janky and the knife moves around a little bit because of the jank, and it's, I don't know why, but I just like that. I like the feeling of that. And then the sledgehammers you were talking about, I feel like there's more like haptic feedback with the sledgehammers, and forward is a lot weaker in BONEWORKS, so it feels more real when you're hitting stuff. As to in BONELAB, you're super strong in no matter like what avatar you use, so you feel like a god compared to forward. You know, even the forward avatar in BONELAB is like a lot stronger than the forward avatar in BONEWORKS. So I personally think BONEWORKS is more realistic. I can see your face right now.
Yeah,
bro. It's like, I'm just saying, and I feel like BONELAB is just a little. I know it's less janky, and I know it's a real improvement, but I prefer the BONEWORKS engine still way more than the Marrow. But
right.
I don't know. I could be.
Honestly, I can respect that.
The janky feel for some reason, you know.
Yeah, you actually had some good points there.
But
yeah,
I don't know.
I appreciate it.
I like grippy. Yeah, I like grippy.
All right, get out.
But, you're welcome.
See ya.
Okay, bye. Play Toll when it comes out, guys.
I knew he was gonna do that at the end. I should have just disconnected him. Right. So guys, has GJack convinced you that BONEWORKS is better? Because it's worse. Because it's worse, it makes it better, apparently. Okay. He did have some good points, to be fair, with blah blah blah, dumb boy, off the stage, get out of here. He almost convinced me with some parts. He was like, The thing you said about when you grip something in BoneWorks, it feels more visceral. I don't know. Yeah, I see what he means. It does feel softer to grab stuff in BoneLab. BoneLab is still better though. BoneLab wins this one. Thank you guys for your votes. 69% BoneLab. Respect. The funny number. We're tied again. This is close. So, next up, what was I going to do? Okay. Saw someone say it in chat. Where is my thing? Here it is. Okay, we're going to go. Considering we've done melee, we might as well go to gunplay. I know this is a hot one. This is a hot topic. In my opinion, it's a very easy difference. I know exactly who wins this one, but I know a lot of people have very strong feelings about this one. All those gun nerds out there, you know what I mean? Alright. So, what do you guys think of the gunplay in BoneWorks and BoneLab? Which one has the better recoil? Which one has the better feel on the guns? And may I make a counter argument? BoneLab, you can grab the MP5 and you can spin it by the foregrip. Need I say more? Absolutely not. BoneWorks because there is no weight. God, my nose is... I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Ugh! BoneLab is so much more interactive. Yeah. Personally, BoneLab solos in terms of gunplay. BoneWorks is alright. BoneLab feels so much more better. BoneLab has better recoil. I know people don't agree. People think the BoneWorks recoil is better. I prefer it in BoneLab, to be honest. But yeah, that's a personal opinion. I know that everyone loves the BoneWorks recoil for some reason. How about this? Most of the recoil isn't down to the game, it's down to the avatar. Just use a weaker avatar, use the skeleton or some shit, I don't know. Then, yeah, the recoil is different because of the avatars. That's right, Slimy. And everyone's like, oh, BoneWorks is better. Just use a weak avatar. Dumbass. That's right. I get recoil adds to it. But it's like, sometimes it's too much. You know, some people like less recoil. I don't mind recoil. But I just think it's better in BoneLab. It just feels better. OG BoneLab recoil was so shit. Yes. The guns in BoneWorks sound more punchy. Okay, I can respect that. G-Jack, it's a good one. BoneWorks just feels more immersive, but BoneLab is on more devices. I guess you're right. Well, no. I think BoneLab is incredibly immersive. But they definitely took away a lot from the game to compromise request. Which is very sad. But that's just the way it had to be. And look how much money they made off doing it. So, you know, I'm not going to complain because it's going to make the next game great. BoneLab versus BoneWorks in terms of gunplay. It's like Hydra Bob versus Coffee Baby. And yeah. Someone said there's better gun mods in BoneLab. But I mean, that's an obvious thing. Well, I wouldn't count that towards this because... yeah. That's just not fair. There wasn't many gun mods in BoneWorks, and in BoneLab, obviously, we've had the not infamous, I always say that word wrong, famous gun packs, Rex Mechs especially, Rex Mech Weapon Pack. The patch-free carry was crazy. Not saying it just because I had my own Henry X gun, but that was pretty cool. Now I've got my own Deagle. I respect it, Rex. You're a legend, mate. Skibidi gun pack happened in BoneLab too, you know. What more could you ask for? But yeah, we're not talking about mods. In terms of just recoil, how it feels, how the guns feel. Honestly, just for the fact that you can spin the MP5K, that alone makes BoneLab win for me. It's just too good, honestly. LJ, What is your opinion? I'm going to invite you. We got someone else coming up, guys.
Alright.
What's good? What's your opinion on the gunplay?
My opinion on the gunplay in BONEWORKS and or BONELAB is that, in my opinion, the gunplay is better in BONEWORKS. And the reason I say that is because your like rig in BONEWORKS is like fitted to Arthur Ford. Like in BONELAB, it depends on which avatar you are, and like it depends on the experience you're gonna get. But why I feel like it feels more well-rounded, in my opinion, in BONEWORKS is because the rig and everything is for Arthur Ford. You're gonna have the exact same amount of recoil for each gun and everything. So that's why, in my opinion, I believe the gunplay in BONEWORKS is better.
Okay, I respect that. I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's why I believe it's better in BONEWORKS, other than BONELAB. But the melee, like I agree with you on the melee. I feel like it feels a lot better in BONELAB.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, 100%. But I feel like the gunplay in BONEWORKS feels more better, more like consistent for me in BONEWORKS, and that is my real opinion.
Right, I respect that, to be honest. That has convinced me a little bit. I'm still a BONELAB defender, but that was good.
Alright, thank you for having me. I'm gonna go now.
Alright, no problem. Get out of here. See ya. Well, guys, what do you think? Which game has better recoil? I know what the answer's going to be. No point even making a poll. I'll do it anyway. Which game has the better gunplay? BONELAB or BONEWORKS? Let's see. Built-in mag eject, exactly. BONELAB has built-in mag eject. Just saying. Built-in mag eject, and you can spin your SMG like this. What more could you ask for? Exactly. So, what do you guys think? BONELAB is winning. My BONELAB defender, boys. Let's keep it going. Also, mods aren't counted in this, guys. Don't vote based off mods. But hey, BONELAB's winning. It looks as if the BONEWORKS recoil lovers are just the loud minority. So, now that we have our definitive answer, I want you BONEWORKS defenders to shut up for once. The amount of times I've heard it, it's like, oh, BONEWORKS recoil's better. Get out of here. How about we all start going around chanting, oh, the BONELAB recoil's better. Hey? How about that? That's right. Silly. BONEWORKS just ain't winning. I'm sorry, guys. Look at that. Smashed by BONELAB. That's right. I'm sorry. Sorry, BONELAB. BONEWORKS defenders. I'm sorry. So. This is not biased because I'm a BONELAB YouTuber. I am also a BONEWORKS YouTuber. I'm a stress level 0 YouTuber. I'm not defending BONELAB because I want it to win. I'm defending BONELAB because that is definitively better in this scenario. Well, 72% BONELAB. Looks like the point goes to BONELAB, guys. It's 4-3. This is intense. They're just going up one by one. So if we follow this order, BONEWORKS is going to win the next one. So, what is the next topic going to be, my friends? Well, I have a few noted down. What did I put? Okay, this is an interesting one. Let's do this. So, which game has the better main character? This was stupid. This is just a free point. This is just a free point. Well, okay. think about it. So when we're talking about main character, right, we're talking about... Okay, actually, how about this? We're going to put a twist on this one. So, we're talking about... So the BONEWORKS main character is Arthur Ford. You play as Arthur Ford in your adventure through MythOS to become immortal in the void. In BONELAB, you play as yourself. Okay? You are the one controlling the peasant. You are literally... Your mind gets uploaded into their consciousness. That is why the peasant is hung. So the question is for you guys, who is better? So I poked the camera, I got so close. Who is better? Arthur Ford or yourself as a human being? Okay? Answer that one. Who's better? Yourself as a human being or Ford? Because I'm going to be real. For me, it's still Ford. Ford's on top. Because there's you, and then there's the ideal man, you know? There's no competition. Even then, there's no competition. Arthur, oh my god, Arthur Ford is in chat, guys. What does Arthur Ford vote for? Does he vote for himself, or does he vote for Arthur Ford? They're both himself. He can't vote. That's crazy. Damn, everyone's still going for Ford. Okay. Give the peasant some love. Come on. Is there any peasant defenders in chat? Does anyone think the BONELAB peasant is better than Arthur Ford? I want to know. Peasant female C. That poor NPC has gone through some shit. If she was playable, unmasked BONELAB would win. Right. Well, think about it. Also include with the peasant the avatars from the avatar mission. Okay? So, like, we're talking right now as one character, the BONELAB peasant with the body log. So we're talking the peasant, short, light, fast, tall, heavy, strong. They're all one character, technically. So does that roster of characters beat Ford? Which one's better? Hello, Shub. See you in chat. Welcome. Okay, we'll do a poll. We'll do a poll. So. Peasant with body log or Arthur fucking Ford. Who's better, guys? This is a tough one. It's not a tough one, actually. We know the answer. Peasants are hot with that thing on their head. What? You're a stranger. Arthur Ford's winning, okay. BONELAB's not doing bad, though. People like the peasant, I respect it. Does anyone want to defend the peasant in the stage right now? Who thinks the peasant's better than Ford? Nope. Alright, Slimy, defend the peasant. What's up? Welcome to the stream.
Alright. Oh, welcome. There is one way the peasant can be better than like Ford, in my opinion, though. Is because you can become multiple avatars as well. Like you become strong, fast, light, tall. All of those people, if you put Ford and peasant in like an arena, peasant's coming out on top.
Oh yeah.
That's one of the reasons. Gameplay wise, I would have to put it in as like Ford, but if they use the body lock more, like had more puzzles with the body block instead of, you know, just leaving it up to modders, Peasant would come like close, but like I still believe that Ford. Also, he's immortal. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he's kind of immortal. But I guess the Peasant is as well, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, if you think about it, the dedication one person has to go to become immortal, sacrificing like an entire company, you know.
Yeah.
Like he had a plan. He knew what he was doing. Peasant just woke up like in a noose and was confused. Like what just happened?
That's true.
And was recruited by Jimmy. Like
yeah. To be fair, Jimmy is the reason why Peasant has any power, basically.
Yeah, so if you take out Jimmy in the equation, it could be Ford, but if you didn't, it would be Peasant.
Damn.
That's my proposal.
You're right. That's something to think about. Thank you.
Yo, shout out Slimy, Kane the Ring, and up and coming mod at 15. I just want to shout out.
All right. Get out.
Download Feet Lab.
No way you're promoting that too. How do I get you out of here? Go away. God's sake. Okay, guys, which one's better? Arthur Ford or Peasant? Looks like Arthur Ford's winning. Alright. BoneWorks wins that one. That was a stupid question. Kind of. Yeah, there's reasons for Peasant though. There is reasons for Peasant. Okay, we're equal again. It's 4-4, guys. I don't actually know how many scores we're going to do. I don't know who's going to be the determining winner, but we'll see. Alright. Next up. What do we got? Okay, this one is a bit of a weird one. It's going to be interesting. Here we go. Attention to detail. Which one has the best attention to detail, my friends? Discuss. So when I talk about attention to detail, I mean stuff like, let me think of a good example. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but stuff like BoneWorks in the park in streets where you can spin the roundabout. The slide has slippy properties. Is there a slide? There is a slide, yeah. It's like the thing you knock down. When I think of attention to detail, actually, I can only think of examples from BoneWorks. That's not good. But then BoneLab has roll the d20. If it lands on 20, confetti comes out. It's a cool hidden detail. BoneLab has keycard rooms. I guess you could count those as attention to detail, maybe? I don't know. The My Pal Apollo achievement. The hidden area in Mine Dive. Guess you could count that. Impact properties. Yeah, you're right. The scenery. You're right. Those could definitely be considered attention to detail, Lofi. Thank you. Does not feel like it's been streaming for an hour. It really doesn't. I can't believe it's been an hour. What are your thoughts on Nullbody? Says Nullbody. I love Nullbody. Thank you, Nullbody, for being in chat. BoneWorks has the basketball hoop. There's another great example. BoneWorks also has the... what's it called? Raffle boxes. And there's like a 1 in 500 chance to get the golf club, which is just a super cool random thing. Now, what gets me about this is that a lot of the attention to detail things were removed in the change from BoneWorks to BoneLab, which breaks my heart, because that's the type of shit I love. Another one is the TV monitors in the museum and stuff. You can actually rip the antennas off the back, and you can also turn the dials with your fingers. In BoneLab, they got rid of the ability to turn the dials, and I haven't checked, but they might have got rid of the ability to take the antennas off too. I'm not sure on that one, but I hope not. BoneWorks also has a ton of extra weird props that you can't spawn in, like in Break Room. There's a magazine on the table that you can pick up, and you can actually bend it, which is like really unique. In my opinion, BoneWorks wins this one, but I don't know what you guys are saying. More realistic lighting, BoneLab seems way too bright. I guess it's a fair reason. BoneWorks has a punching bag, that's right. You're right. BoneWorks is just better, I can explain why in Discord. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see, VR enthusiast. Hello, Wigwam #1 fan. Welcome to the stream. I like that name. Okay, I'm gonna ask you guys. Which game has the better attention to detail? I think for me, it's gotta be BoneWorks personally, but I'll let you guys decide. And I also want some examples, because I see a lot of people saying BoneLab. What are your examples for better attention to detail in BoneLab? Give me an example in chat, guys. Removable antenna, that's right. BoneLab also in Moonbase had the green ball man, the golden cog. Those did get removed, which fucking sucks, I think. Or did they change their location? I can't remember. But either way, those are gone. Map geometry, you're right, Max. Because BoneLab has like custom grips for a lot of stuff everywhere, and it has, is it called world grip, where you can grip the top of like any material, which is like cool as fuck. Yes. Yeah, that makes sense. Moonbase especially, I'm pretty sure that was all manually done by Komobi1, right? Poor soul. That's awesome. Because he did a great job, because I've messed around on the poles and stuff on top of Moonbase. You can actually, I mean, they got cylinder grips, you can slide down them if you half grip them, like that. And then, you can like, yeah, put your hand around everything, it's super cool. Hello, Mystic Turtle. Just entered the live. Welcome, we're having a heated debate about which game is better, BoneLab or BoneWorks, in terms of attention to detail. BoneWorks parallax mapping on the grid walls. On the grip walls. Oh! I'm not sure exactly what that means, but I kind of get it. Particles, better blood, more interesting NPCs, the elevators in Street Puncher. Yeah, those are good points. BoneWorks is better, but there are reasons why BoneLab couldn't be. I see that. It's tough. It's tough. That is a tough one. Who's in the audience? VR enthusiast, do you have something to say about this? Max? Okay, we're gonna get two opinions on this one, guys. VR enthusiast, make it quick, by the way. Welcome to the live stream.
Make it a lot more like laid out is BoneWorks has a lot more attention to detail because of the physics and the way that everything interacts with the world, but they had to tone that down for more optimization in BoneLab. So there's reasons why BoneLab is a really good game in that era, but it just can't compete with BoneWorks because BoneWorks was designed to run on more powerful systems.
Uh-huh. Have you got any examples of physics being better in BoneWorks?
You said it yourself, the magazine. We don't have that in BoneLab, at least.
Yes.
Everything that I've gone through, it's had to be modded back into the game. There is a lot less props than there are in BoneWorks. Everything else is less physical, as like some glass that should break, which I've noticed in a lot of bugs, and I may even put it in a video in the future, is some glass just doesn't have particle effects. You break it and it just disappears. No particles.
You're right.
And
you're right.
Like a lot of different things are just removed for more optimization. So that's why BoneLab is really good, but BoneWorks just pushes over a little bit because it has a more powerful system behind it.
Respect. I respect that, yeah. You're right.
And yeah.
BoneWorks is better.
Alright, thanks for letting me be up there. That's all I gotta say.
No
and
problem.
Thank you.
See you
See
later.
ya. Awesome. Download feet.
I knew he was gonna fucking do it. I knew he was gonna do it. I'm not letting it happen again. Okay, Max. What's up?
What's up, boy?
What you gotta say, man?
All his points were dumb. He said that was for optimization. I'm sure one particle would not change the optimization, so that's wrong. Okay, number 2, he said something about the impact properties. Like,
Yeah.
what? Well, they changed them recently, and something broke. Like in the patch, the hot fix, they had to fix some. Like, like, why are they gonna be happy? But yeah, I don't think that is just for optimizations. I think that is because, well, one, the game's different, the gameplay's different, physics
Yeah.
interactions are different in BoneWorks and BoneLab. There's not the same scenarios that you'll see, and I actually think there are more physical interactions in BoneLab that aren't as apparent, but there are more, such as in Descent, there are like wood beams everywhere. There's like that skeleton and he's lit, so you know. And
Yeah.
also in the map geometry, there's so much like scattered paper on the floor. That would have taken so long. That's
shit.
crazy. Like, I reckon that they must have put a lot more attention to detail on like the small props. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. You actually
But-
convinced me.
I don't know. I think that's my opinion. But
Yeah,
in some
that's
levels,
good.
I agree that BoneWorks is better. But I think in the high regard that they did put more effort into the small attention.
Yeah, I respect that. That's good.
Respect, boy.
Respect, Max. Thank you very much, mate.
Thanks, boy. Skibbity bum bum.
Alright, I first skibbity over feet lab. So, guys, I might be a BoneLab voter now. I don't know. That genuinely convinced me. That is like some good points that I didn't really put to my mind. Because it's almost like there's less attention to detail, but there's now more attention to detail, which is not more, but there's the attention to detail which there is now more in depth. You know what I mean? It's hard to determine what is attention to detail in the first place, so it's kind of hard to answer this one. I think my vote goes to BoneLab though, to be honest. I think I've switched up. But overall, BoneWorks won. It was very close, 48 to 52%. 48 to BoneLab, 52 to BoneWorks. I mean, just changed a bit, but yeah. Alright, you guys said it. BoneWorks wins. In my opinion, it's BoneLab. Max convinced me. But you know, there we go. Attention to detail. Alright, guys, what we'll do, right? I think we'll go best to 7, okay? So whichever game reaches 7 first is the winner. Is the better game. The better game, they say. There isn't a better one. They're both amazing. But you know, for the sake of the stream, we'll hit that. Okay. Let's head over to my things. Alright. Here we go. This is where it gets brung back. This one is an obvious one, again. Kind of stupid to ask it, but it's necessary. And I think there might be a few defenders here, so... Which game has the better mods? BoneLab or BoneWorks? Let's hear it. Let's hear it, guys. BoneLab, over 7,000 mods or something have been uploaded. BoneWorks, you got a few hundred. But all of BoneWorks' mods are code mods. BoneLab has all sorts of junk and shit being uploaded to it every day. Where BoneWorks has super polished and good mods like the SpiderLab mod, the best interpretation we've seen of Spider-Man web shooters throughout both games, in my opinion. BoneWorks also has... I don't know. Because BoneWorks had Entanglement. Entanglement is 10 times worse compared to BoneLab Fusion, obviously. So it can't really win in that aspect either. So BoneLab has the better multiplayer, the more mods to mess with your friends. That alone kind of makes it solo. BoneWorks did have the Paranoia mod, the like proper good horror mod. BoneLab had a port of it, but it wasn't the best compared to the BoneWorks one. So there's that. BoneWorks originally had hit markers. It was ported though, so I don't know if we can count that. I don't really know what else. But there was like a chaos mod for BoneWorks, I think. Was there? Yeah, there was a chaos mod. There was some cool stuff for BoneWorks basically. But I think BoneLab just outweighs it. I think that this one's just unfair, yeah. Leafy said it. It's pretty obvious BoneWorks wins. BoneLab wins, sorry. Wigwam #1 fan. Wigwam, I gotta go. Bye. Goodbye, Wigwam #1 fan. Thanks for being a fan. Melon Vault, you're right. Melon Vault was so good they hired the director of the mod. Melon Vault was a BoneWorks mod. Think about it. The Melon Vault logo was actually added in patch 6 to Mind Hive, so you know that's really saying something. BoneLab wins though, let's be honest. Let's see what you guys have to say about it. Let's make a poll. I want to see how big the difference is. BoneLab or BoneWorks? Which one has the best mods, guys? Alright, here we go in chat. I'll let you speak real quick, Colz, and then we'll see if anyone wants to defend.
Yeah, I'm speaking.
It doesn't say you're in the speakers for some reason. Okay, yeah, carry on.
So I'm saying BoneLab is built for modding. It is a modding platform in itself.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, so there's no left or right about it. It's definitively the game for modding.
Yeah, that is just right.
BoneWorks had like Paranoia, Gibbable Guys, and BoneLab built on that, improved it. Same with Entanglement and Fusion. They're like two sides of the same coin in terms of quality.
Yeah.
And generally you get more weapon mods, more melee, more maps. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just so it's so clear that it just wins.
Yeah, BoneLab just wins.
Yeah,
literally. They said 33% of the game was built like made for mods. So yeah, BoneLab wins.
BoneLab focuses on less content, more SDK, and that's why people complain about the patches, because it's all the invisible stuff that gets added that they don't see.
Yeah.
But like meanwhile, things are getting worked on. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Right. That's my 10 pence. I'll leave you to it. Bye.
Right. See you later. Cheers.
See you later.
Right. Well, which one do you think, guys? It is 97% BoneLab. I mean, it's right. You guys are smart. Who is the 3%? Is that like one person? Who are you? Join the chat right now. Join the call. Alright, LJ. I see you requesting. Are you gonna defend BoneLab? BoneWorks? Say in the Discord chat. Okay, yeah, LJ is not defending BoneWorks. Alright, VR enthusiasts, come back real quick. Alright, defend BoneWorks. Go.
Okay. So, as Colts was saying, BoneLab was built for modding. BoneWorks was not. It's all about what the player's up to, really. Because BoneLab was specifically designed for people to build and create, but BoneWorks wasn't. BoneWorks was designed on a story. The only reason BoneLab really was built to become more modded was because of the developers realizing, hey, they tried modding BoneWorks without the tools. What will they have whenever we give them the tools? And I think that's why we can defend BoneWorks a little bit here, because it's like BoneWorks was the stepping point. It was the stepping stone for all mods for Stress Level 0 games, and that's why they gave you the Marrow SDK. So That's what I gotta say.
You're right. Okay, I'm gonna kick you before you say Feet Lab.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Alright, so I guess that kind of makes sense because like BONELAB probably went down the route it did because Stress Level 0 saw how ready people were to try and mod the game, so they gave us the chance. And then BONELAB still has better mods, so it doesn't change anything. BONELAB wins. Okay. It did change a bit. BONEWORKS vote went up by 5%. So 92% BONELAB, 8% BONEWORKS. Okay. We are still neck and neck. These games are both amazing in their own ways and also in the same ways. They're so close. It's crazy. Okay, Adam Z, I'm gonna kick you from the call. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. Or not the call, from the Alright, I'm just gonna hide you. There we go. That is disgusting. I don't know why you'd share that in my live chat. Thanks. Fucking hell. What is wrong with people? Okay, what's next? What did I have noted down? Okay. This one's a bit confusing. So which game has the better physics? BONELAB or BONEWORKS? Let's see. You guys talk amongst yourselves. So, it's tough because it's not tough. BONELAB's better in my opinion. BONELAB is a lot better. But I know some people might disagree. One thing I might say about BONEWORKS though is that when what am I saying? Crates. So I'm distracted by chat right now. When crates are broken in BONEWORKS, I feel like their debris that spawns connects more with what you just destroyed. Where in BONELAB, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh god. Oh. Or in BONELAB, when you destroy stuff, it feels like debris appears rather than actually, you know, rather than that debris feeling like it came from what you destroyed. I don't know. I don't know if I'm tripping that. Story, that's a good one, Leafy. I can't believe I haven't said that yet. BONEWORKS did have more quantity of physics, thanks to puzzles. You're right, physics puzzles, BONEWORKS had more. BONEWORKS has excellent physics. It does, but I feel like BONELAB is literally just that, but improved. I don't know. Well, I do know. I think BONELAB's better, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Alright, Max. Defend BONELAB. Let's go.
Okay. So, you said that one thing about the crates.
Yeah.
That's that one crate that's like in that main menu. I know you talk about.
No,
like
not the crate from Redacted Chamber, like just any wooden crates.
Oh.
I feel like they had a different thing. I mean, it doesn't matter. BONELAB's still better.
Well, I think subjective. I think because look, you have like those arm colliders, you know, that makes things like 10 times better for me.
Oh yeah,
like,
100%.
So much better. I feel like the physics in BONELAB are a lot more smooth.
Yeah.
I don't know why. The player control is a lot more smooth. Player is better. Like in BONEWORKS, I swear everything was so much jittery when you like grab stuff, you know. Like the jank.
You're right.
I hated the jank.
And then you can't like
smooth.
walk up stuff either, like small stuff. You just get stuck on anything.
Yeah. But sometimes bad, but just whatever.
Yeah.
Like sometimes the legs would fly. Whatever. But that's fusion, so whoever made that mod's an idiot, you know. You get me? Whoever made fusion,
Yeah, whoever made fusion's an idiot. I hope he's not in chat.
yeah, he's a dork. Dies.
Right.
Okay, that's a joke. Okay, but yeah, BONELAB's better because
BONELAB's better.
it's a lot. There's a lot more things that you can do without it breaking.
Uh-huh.
That's all I have to say.
Alright.
That's it. It's just better.
Thank you, buddy.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Alright, there it is. So, guys, what do we think? If you bring up the story... Okay. I think people are wanting me to speak about the story. That'll be our next one. What did Lactra say? I wish they used the complex crate more in both games. You're right! They use it like twice in BoneWorks, and like, does that even show up in BoneLab? I think it does once, right? Or am I going crazy? No, I don't think it does. Wow. I love that crate. That crate is so cool. And guess what? I forgot about this. In BoneWorks, there is a crate destructible 2 meter too. You know, I've got the crate indestructible 2 meter, and it's like the long one. There's a wooden version of that. It shows up in Streets once, and it shows up in Central Station once, I think. And I think that's it. Never shows up again. You can't spawn it either. Why has that not become a spawnable prop? There's literally an indestructible counterpart, and you can't use it. It's so sad. I love that prop, and I really wish it was spawnable. But yeah, that's just a random rant. So guys, which game has the better physics? I probably spelt it wrong, I just realized, but who cares? BoneLab or BoneWorks? I think we know the answer. BoneWorks feels unique. It's uniquely different. I wouldn't say in a good way. Well, in a good way. You know, it's its own thing, but BoneLab is better. BoneWorks has definitely aged, but for the time, BoneLab was insane. But yeah, BoneWorks is better. Oh, BoneLab is better, sorry. BoneLab wins. BoneLab solos. BoneLab Crane Puzzle is peak BoneLab. Yeah, the Crane Puzzle is pretty cool. Sadly, that's like one of the only cases we see of a physics puzzle. And that's why I don't know if that would count, but that's probably one of the only reasons why I'd put BoneWorks above it, is because it utilizes the physics and puzzles more, which I think is amazing. Those are some of the coolest things ever. If you went from BoneLab to BoneWorks, you'll be disappointed with the physics. Yeah, that's the problem. I feel like BoneWorks is aged too much now, to the point where if you go back, you really notice those differences. It's a tough situation, because it's like, Stress Level 0 isn't going to stay at the same level. Obviously, they want to improve their stuff. Which then indirectly makes BoneWorks a less favourable experience, but then people also complain that BoneLab doesn't have some of the things from BoneWorks. So it's like, it's confusing. But, you know, it's whatever. BoneWorks is better. BoneLab is better. Sorry, I've said BoneWorks and BoneLab too many times today. This is too much. This needs to end. I like Entanglement was super fun. But ain't no way people playing that, right? Ain't no way people are gonna actually play that. This, like, why are people asking? As much as I do miss the vibes of Entanglement, there's no reason to go back. There's no reason to go back. Alright. 72% BoneLab, 27% BoneWorks. I respect the BoneWorks defenders, but BoneLab solos. That brings BoneLab 1 point away from victory. So, this next round could be the defining factor. Although then again, I did say that the next round was going to be story, so I don't know if that's going to be the case for BoneLab. Discuss amongst yourselves. Nase, welcome. This is the perfect time for you to join. It's good to see you, man. Nase, which has the better story, BoneWorks or BoneLab? What's your opinion? Just give BoneWorks the point. Yeah, we're just stalling at this point. It's good to see you, Nase. But yeah, I think this one is obvious. Time for influence the chat. I don't know what you're gonna do. I don't know what you're about to do. I'm scared. Multiple people on at a time to argue. I didn't even think of that. That's amazing. Okay. The thing is, no insults and no rude words. Okay, if I did that. It's just about it. Okay, LJ, VR enthusiast, go. I don't know if you guys know each other. Welcome to the stream.
Hey, VR enthusiast.
What's up, LJ?
Hey.
What's up, LJ? How are you?
What's up, man? What's up? All right.
I'm doing
So-
good. All right, you go first.
All right. I see you're taking the side of BoneWorks, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. All right. I agree with that, but we got to put on a show
Alright.
here. All right. So
Go
I'm gonna
ahead.
try my very best to defend BoneLab. Here we go.
All right.
First of all, my first point, the idea of the BoneLab peasant, right? You are kind of like an AI that gained like sentience, right? Out of
Consciousness
nowhere.
transcending into him. Yeah.
Well, yes, but basically yes, that is just such a unique concept, and I haven't really seen it be done in any VR game before, right? Let alone like any other game. I think that's a great, unique idea, and I just feel like the BoneWorks double agents, like, okay, don't get me wrong, Ford is a Sigma, right? Everybody loves him, but I just feel like that, you know, double agent spy story has been done a little too much.
Ah.
Alright. So I'm gonna defend BoneWorks, but going along with defending BoneWorks, it'll also slightly defend BoneLab, because I know what he's saying. So I say BoneWorks has the best story. Why? Well, not only does it have a really long story, but also it's just more in depth, and it goes into detail. As BoneLab, it's just teaching you how to get avatars, and how to go throughout the world, and play as these avatars. And BoneLab's whole purpose is just for modding, with a short story, and BoneWorks is based on Arthur Ford. So the difference is, one is modding, one is story. They're not meant to be the same thing. If you kind of see where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. And building off of that, I believe that just because it's a shorter story and maybe a little bit more simple doesn't mean it can't be a good story, right? In my opinion, I don't view BoneLab as like nobody should view BoneLab as the sequel to Arthur Ford's story, right? Because it's not. It's
Absolutely.
not.
Yeah, that's not right.
It's in the extended universe, though. I believe this game can be learn about the story of Lava Gang. You know what I mean? Learn about what
Jimmy
they do,
Wong.
what's their motives. You know, Jimmy
Wong,
Wong,
Lava Gang.
exactly. So not
Mhm.
only do we have this
Tempest,
story
PA.
of the BoneLab peasant, you know, becoming like, just becoming from like a low level like NPC basically, and then getting, you know, the mind transferred in there, to becoming this Lava Gang member and becoming this person of creation. We also have Jimmy Wong's story about him escaping his simulation. So I believe that it is a very in-depth story, just hidden behind layers, exactly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I like how you see it. That's a very good way to see it. I also saw Nars said defend BoneLab, so I'll slightly defend BoneLab. Yeah, I see exactly where you're coming from. It's just hidden behind layers. So really, I can't come to a conclusion whether or not it's BoneWorks or BoneLab, because BoneLab is just hidden behind so many different layers. You have to go and research so many different things. For example, Jimmy's in BoneWorks. He's also in the background of the story. You just don't see him. He visited Redacted Chamber at the same time as Ford, and Ford's story is just so in depth, but it just takes more research to figure out the peasant's story and the universe's story in BoneLab. You know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I agree on that. And see, the thing is with the BoneWorks story, it might be longer, but also it takes longer to hit each story like point. You know what I mean? It takes a good like,
Yeah.
sure, like the story is there the whole time, right? You're going through MythOS, like you're going trying to get to the time tower and everything, but it takes a lot longer to hit the story beats. just because it's longer doesn't
Yeah.
mean it has more story.
You're right.
Yeah. But with BoneWorks, it did have a little bit more story because BoneWorks' story also extended into duck season and secret area you can get into duck season. It has a story of a chat between what we presume is Hayes and what we know is Hayes, and also what we believe is Arthur Ford. So the story not only goes from BoneWorks to BoneLab, it goes from BoneLab, BoneWorks, and then BoneWorks story bleeds over into duck season because it's all in the same universe. And also, like, it's really like both stories are super entangled in each other and there's no definitive answer. Like, I really like the story of Arthur Ford, don't get me wrong, but like, you can't just choose which one's better because they're all together. I really like the gameplay style of BoneWorks and the story and the big open worlds. You just can't choose, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that, and I want to go off what York is saying in like the LavaCast chat. BoneWorks is better because the cut content is more interesting, but it's cut content, right? Like you can't really
Yeah, you can't count it.
You can't really count it because it's not in the game. You know what I mean? It's like that's like saying if they put, I don't know, what's a really, I don't know. I've never played Red Dead Redemption 2, so this is not a spoiler.
Oh.
But like, if there was like a deleted ending that like Arthur Morgan became Jesus, like it's just it's not canon.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
Yeah, it's just not canon because it's deleted. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. So is that how we want to conclude this? Is there's no definitive answer? It just goes off of the player really decides?
I guess.
LJ?
Wait, here's one thing though.
Mm-hmm.
Which game tells better? Like tells the story better or shows the story better?
I can't defend
BoneWorks has.
I have to say.
Yeah.
BoneWorks goes into depth. Yep.
BoneLab is
goes into
just
depth.
fucking
Well,
clipboards.
I'll see ya.
Alright, thanks
Download
guys.
FeetLab now. Download
Oh,
FeetLab.
kick him, kick him,
FeetLab,
kick him,
get
kick
it.
him,
Download
kick 'em both,
FeetLab.
kick 'em both. Oh my god, I forgot that was gonna happen. Sneaky fuckers. Okay. So guys. Yeah, in terms of showing story, I think we all know it's showing story. Yeah, BoneWorks is better. Sorry, I'm losing my mind for some reason. Probably because FeetLab is being shouted down my ears multiple times. Stop! Okay. Story. Which one has the best story, guys? BoneWorks or BoneLab? I think we know the answer. Boom, go. Okay, what was the other thing I was going to mention? Okay, I think I mentioned all my talking points, and because I don't really want a final question that would be like determined a certain way, if you know what I mean, like not determined, like biased, because like, you know, I don't want a question that's going to be like, what's got better mods? BoneLab, obviously. So I think for the final question, we just kind of go for the general opinion. What's better? I don't answer yet, but you know, we'll see. What's got better story, guys? BoneWorks or BoneLab? 20% BoneLab, 80% BoneWorks. Wow. I knew BoneWorks was in favor, but damn. Oh yeah, overall experience, that's a good idea. I would have been nice to fit replayability in there, but I think that's too biased towards BoneLab, so we're not going to say that. We're just going to say yeah. Alright, we'll do that. Wow. Favor is definitely in BoneWorks. I don't think BoneLab isn't that bad. It gives us some very crucial and important information on the whole Stress Level 0 universe as a whole. I don't think it deserves that much of a low score, but you know, no one's as much of a nerd as me, so they probably don't know. Okay, BoneWorks wins, which brings BoneWorks up to 6-2. 6-6. whichever game gets 7 wins. And now that leads us to our final question. Which game is the best overall experience? Now, it's tough to determine this. Okay, we're going to do this in a certain way. So we're gonna do this in a way. Which game has the best overall experience on top of the fact of which game can you come back to? Like, which game... Because, you know, BoneWorks... You might think BoneWorks is better, but have you got more hours on BoneLab? Like, do you come back to BoneLab more? Because that would make the overall experience of BoneLab go up, right? Don't see this as like, oh, BoneWorks has better story mode, BoneWorks wins. See this as which game do you spend more time with? Which game do you think overall, in terms of how many hours you've had on it and how much fun you've had on it, which one has been better? If that makes sense. I don't know, that's the only fair way I can do it, to be honest. Alright, everyone in the stage, who wants to join? I want to get a few people in here. I want it to go crazy, as long as there's no rude things said. Okay. You're not requesting calls. Alright. Eureka, VR enthusiast, Max, Colz, get in here. Okay, I'm gonna write the poll.
Yo.
Alright, I'm
Hello,
back.
everybody. So,
Hello.
BoneLab.
Well,
I'm not gonna do what I did last time, by the
I
way.
need to know
Good.
all of your opinions before we carry on. I need to know what everyone's perspective.
LJ,
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, what's up, LJ? What's up, man?
Yo, what's up, guys?
Yeah.
Right, who here is in favour of Bonework, so I can rip into you politely?
Alright, so I am now let me give a reason before you rip into me. It's more or less BoneWorks has been the stepping stone for all physics-based VR games. It's given people something to go off of. Like, for me, I've always liked physics-based games. Like, Gary's mod has been like my #1 go-to physics games for a long time because it
Pulse
uses
and
the
chat.
source physics engine,
Okay.
which was amazing at the time. And then BoneLab and BoneWorks are based off of, like, they have some Half-Life stuff thrown in there, which the mod is based off of. So I just like BoneWorks because the overall feel of it, it's just makes me feel better playing it because I'm like, oh, this is like some big elaborate story. But BoneLab is just carried by mods, you know? Like,
See, I
That
do
is-
agree, but at the same time, no.
it is. Well,
Because-
yeah.
For
When was the last
overall
time you played
experience-
BoneWorks? Come on now.
For
Just
overall
last night, actually.
experience, I gotta say,
So you're a rider. Okay, basically you're a rider. Okay.
Max,
Yep.
come on,
Yep,
look,
100%.
Hey,
100%.
hey.
Okay.
I mean, technically in this, mods are counted, right? Because, like, that's part of your overall experience, especially in BoneLab, because, like, you kind of have to play mods in BoneLab, because that's a lot of the point. And even in vanilla, I think the game's great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think the
It'd be
game's great in
unfair to
vanilla,
not
too.
count
I
mods.
completed it in 3 days.
Like I would rather play BoneLab than BoneWorks.
Yeah, so
100%, no
the
doubt.
way I see it, when I get on VR and I'm like, right, what game do I want to play? I'm given the option and BoneLab next to each other. I always go for BoneLab because I've made so many more memories in BoneLab. Like, even though BoneWorks had entanglement, and like obviously there's been fucking funny moments in both of them, I just think BoneLab takes the cake any day.
Respect.
Because
Yeah,
Agree.
I feel
it's so
feel
well
kinda the
developed.
same way.
And even in when patch 4 dropped and everyone had to go back to vanilla, I was still finding myself, you know, replaying it, going into it every single day because there was so much to do just without mods or anything.
Vanilla
Yeah.
BoneLab's underrated.
Real.
for me it's
BoneLab underrated.
yeah, BoneLab is underrated, but for me it's like I'm given that choice and I'll play BoneLab for the mods, but I keep on going back to BoneWorks for the experience. Like whenever I used to play Entanglement, which I'm actually trying to get to work again, through Steam networking, but that's something else.
Yeah.
It was something fun for me to do, and I could play it with my friends, and a lot of people like loved Entanglement. And now that
You can play
Entanglement's
Bundle
gone,
with
you know, I
friends.
found myself going back in there, wanting the nostalgic feeling of playing and having fun with my friends again.
Blinded by nostalgia.
And
That's
BONELAB,
what it
so
is.
I just keep
Blinded by nostalgia.
Exactly.
blinded by
Exactly, I was about to say
nostalgia.
that. I was about to say
Okay.
Everyone always talks
Okay.
about going back.
No,
to
no,
old
shit,
times.
do it. I can take it.
BONELAB is just the better version of BoneWorks, okay? I
The
don't
way
care.
you're-
Multiplayer is better.
I like BoneWorks jank. I like BoneWorks jank.
See, but
When-
when everyone says they prefer BoneWorks, 9 times out of 10, it's because they're blinded by nostalgia, and it's like they're trying to grasp onto something.
Yeah,
of
I
just
feel
time
I feel that, yeah.
Because I'll
Alright.
tell you this now. BoneWorks playing it again after playing the story is not the same. Whereas BONELAB, I can get on it any time and just find something new to do and something to laugh at every single time I get on it.
Yeah, I
Alright.
feel you on that one. Like, I play BoneLab a lot, and BoneWorks is just something for me to go back to just to search for a feeling. That's why I like BoneWorks slightly more. It's just because I go back there for like a feeling of like, oh, I remember doing this, let me do it again, and like just find myself doing things
Blind
over and over,
blind.
finding new things to do and explore. Yep, I am blind by nostalgia, but nostalgia's not always bad.
But then again, right? That
Yeah.
nostalgia is a fair point. Nostalgia is what makes it good, which I know is like you're just liking it for the nostalgia almost, but at the same time, nostalgia's a
Nostalgia's
good
fair,
feeling.
You know, you can't. Yeah, but at the same time, you can't base your opinion on a game based on a dopamine-seeking addiction to nostalgia. Because
Yeah.
if I was, if I because no, if I was like going based off nostalgia alone, I'd say BoneWorks because obviously it was like one of the first VR games I played, blah 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 blah. But it's not about which one makes you feel nostalgia. It's about which one you enjoy playing constantly
That's right.
overall.
BoneWorks. For me, it's BoneWorks.
I can respect
I
that.
found myself going back
got
to
it.
like every few days. Like last night, I messed around in it for 2 hours straight until my headset died, and I was just
Yeah.
like, man, tomorrow, I'm gonna do something stupid. I'm about to get on action in a couple minutes.
Yeah,
All right, whose kid is that? Because that was
I
that was
understand
adorable.
that.
That was adorable. Yeah, that was adorable. Whoever's kid that was, much
Adorable.
love to them.
Yeah, he's sat right next to me now. He's really pissing me off. Wait, what? No, go to sleep. Go to fucking sleep, lad.
God, that's
Don't ever-
amazing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
amazing.
you will cry. You will cry.
Oh, it's the baby mods.
Oh my god.
We're getting
BoneLab's
off.
better.
We're getting off topic.
BoneLab's better.
We're getting off topic.
Anyway, I'm gonna hop into the debate now. BoneWorks is a better overall experience for me,
My name Multi.
and why I say I'm not blinded by nostalgia is because you guys are gonna flame me for this. I hadn't completed BoneWorks
Oh my
until
God.
after
Oh,
BoneLab.
but
Alright.
my hands are hurting, bro.
Bot walking.
Clapping. What the hell?
Now,
My hands are stinging.
keep in mind,
He took his time.
I was a dumb baby when I first
know.
purchased
Yeah,
BoneLab. Or-
yeah.
That's an insult. That's an insult. Okay. We don't need to have that in this debate. Anyway, I literally could not beat BoneWorks because I don't know when BoneWorks came out. Was it 2019?
2019.
2019?
1947.
I would have been 9 years old or 10 years old.
What?
And
Diddly
believe
and
it-
triple yang.
Shit.
so I was a
December
little
27th.
stupid baby,
What?
and I could not beat the
Fidget's
game.
older than bro.
And then I eventually went back to BoneWorks after BoneLab came out because
Like,
you know,
stop, bro.
I thought it was great. And after I finished BoneWorks at like 3 a.m. Because I just stayed up and played it, I was like,
Yeah,
I just
so-
literally sat back and I just went, wow. I just thought it was
Yeah.
such a better overall experience, and I don't think BoneLab can
I
match
respect
for me.
that. I respect that, and honestly, I'd feel you. Like the story in BoneWorks and like the gameplay blew my fucking mind. But from what I'm saying is, I can't experience that again, and I know that I can't, so I don't go out seeking it. If you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
if I could, if top. If I could get that feeling every time I play, if I could get that like amazement every time I play BoneWorks, I'd 100% favor BoneWorks. But it's a one-time thing because
Stop.
you know what to expect now. You know what to expect now going through the game. Like, you know, it's like, oh, this is where the music kicks in, and it's, oh my god, and it's just, it loses its magic after the first run through.
Guys, I don't think Eureka said anything. Can we like get him?
Yeah.
You can go for it.
Give your opinion.
Some no calls.
I think in terms of vanilla game, BoneWorks is just generally more fun. I don't really know how to explain it. It's not nostalgia, but it just has a certain feel to it. Like it's a lot heavier.
Yeah, I can see that.
And the campaign, in my opinion, is way more replayable. Like BoneLab is mostly linear, but
Oh yeah,
there's
that's the
a
one
lot more
thing that
decisions
really
to be
annoys me.
made. Yeah, it's just hard for me to replay the game more than once.
What's everyone saying in chat?
Yeah, what do we
What's
have?
the
YouTube
poll?
chat?
Let's look at the poll. We got
Consensus
66%
is
BoneLab.
BoneLab.
Okay,
Oh.
it makes sense. It's pretty.
66,
It's
that means
quite close though. It's not like too far off. So I think that's a pretty fair number because BoneWorks is great, BoneLab's great.
And it's the situation of not saying like you like this game so you must hate that one. It's not that. It's both games are amazing, but it's like if I had to choose in those situations.
Yeah. Like Nolan.
Because I
Sorry.
yeah, I love BoneLab and BoneWorks. They are literally my favorite VR games. But at a choice, it's BoneLab any day.
And also, I didn't want to bring it up.
Hello.
But
What's up?
I kind of have to. In my opinion,
Scheiße.
BoneLab could have been it genuinely could have been better than BoneWorks.
It is.
But
what?
you know, it got held back by the quest.
yeah.
No, even
For
with,
me, I
like,
find myself going back for a story.
even with the quote
Find
unquote
a story.
optimization,
Okay.
I don't think there is a lot of optimization in BoneLab because it's still
Well, there's a lot of it, but it doesn't take
It's
away as much as we
debatable.
think. I
it
think.
doesn't. Yeah,
Yes.
it doesn't.
Yeah, it didn't
doesn't-
take away as much.
If it was like literally Play-Doh graphics and like nobodies with just a head and arms going, then I'd understand. But it's still playable regardless of the platform. Even if I had like fucking NASA PC, you know, Valve Index, and like 3 more headsets stacked on top of it, running all that, I'd still enjoy it. Like regardless of the quality of it.
That's true. The
I was trying
only
soundboard
reason
sounds.
That's not
the only
me.
reason I think it's like held back because of the quest is obviously the more linear levels. They just can't be like the environments can't be to scale of the ones in BoneWorks, and
E3 can't what?
that's just why it's not as good as an overall experience for me as it is for BoneWorks, because I
Stop,
feel
man.
like if
Kick Coles out of this thing. It's being
I
really.
feel like
If I hear that child again, I will
Baseball.
baseball bat. That's all I gotta say.
I want baseball
Yeah.
bat. Yeah, shut up.
All right, stop.
Facts.
Thing
Getting
is
violent,
with the optimization and the levels being linear, I do wonder if that is to do with mostly the optimization, and if that's just they couldn't be asked to make much of a campaign because they wanted to focus on the core and the SDK more.
that is also another good point there.
Yeah, because I feel like they could have gone further with the campaign, but that's not what the game was intended for, so they didn't.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, because intention is another big play, because BoneLab isn't intended to be a story game. It's supposed to be a sandbox game.
What about you just can't compare the two games because they're different? About that.
That's right.
How about how about
That's
we said,
the basic conclusion. Yeah, basically.
They're their own.
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
their own,
about-
their own grit. Oh, wait, go on. I'll not interrupt. I ain't a rude boy.
Alright, so how about this? Both games are extremely good, but we both just go to each one for a certain reason. We go to BoneLab for modding, we go to BoneWorks for story.
Like,
So
they're all,
it just
they're all-
depends on what we want.
It's a
yeah,
fucking
they're all
different
great
game.
games in their own respect, but like pretend we're being put at gunpoint here for this stream. I've actually got a timed bomb on the back of my head, and if I don't, it will go off.
So basically, BoneWorks
Gamer God, yeah, Gamer God. Come on, say something.
Yeah, let him get
So-
his. Let him...
So basically, BoneWorks is the Half-Life 2 and BONELAB is the Gmod.
Yeah,
That's-
that's the usual
Yeah.
comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good job.
Okay.
Facts, bro.
That was. I'm actually not gonna lie.
Gave him an
I'm not even
applause.
gonna lie. That's actually a really good comparison. Yeah, give him applause. Wait,
What do you guys?
that's actually a really good comparison.
PS King, what are you gonna say?
I'd like to agree that BoneWorks and BoneLab
Aye.
are very comparable.
Yeah.
Stop it off, bro.
But oh god, but
Yeah, no nonsense.
I like going back to BoneWorks. So whenever I wanna see what it's like, you know.
I agree.
And then BoneLab, I just play. I have an addiction, you know.
Uh-huh.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
Just hits different. Because that's the thing. BoneWorks hits harder, but BoneLab, you can come back to it so much more, so it makes that
Yeah.
the almost
Yeah,
the
the
better
replay
overall
value is a lot
experience.
better with BoneLab.
For
Yeah.
wow factor and impact, BoneWorks,
Yeah.
but for replayability and overall experience, BoneLab, I'd say.
Yeah, it seems about right.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think
I
the,
wanna-
the poll is in
I'm
favor of
happy.
BoneLab. I think BoneLab
Yes,
wins.
I love BoneLab.
I think all of us are in favor. I think all of us are in favor of BoneLab, and BoneWorks was just a stepping stone.
Yeah, BoneWorks.
Yeah.
That's right.
BoneWorks laid the foundations. BoneLab's the building. You get me?
BoneWorks is great, but it's
Yeah, I
aged.
feel you there.
It was great for
Get
its time,
me?
but it definitely aged.
Yeah.
Still, they're both
And
still
me
amazing.
too.
They're great
Yeah.
games.
And hopefully that, like the next SLZ game is even better.
Oh, I think it's gonna
Mhm.
be
Hopefully the
like
B-side is a
BoneWorks and
banger.
BoneLab combined. It's gonna be like best of both worlds. I think.
Yeah.
It's great. All right.
Ford meets Jimmy Wong, the game. Let's go.
If
Alright,
anyone
Alex.
mentions a certain mod when they leave, I'm going to do things I'm going to regret.
Yeah. Everybody buy Feet Lab. And
Goodbye, everyone.
no.
Goodbye.
Bye. Goodbye, Tom.
Bye. All right, thank God. Well, guys, that's our answer. Which is the better game? BoneLab. BoneLab wins 7-6. Is it very close? Yes. In some cases, basically 50-50 votes. They're both phenomenal games. We love them very much. BoneWorks is amazing for its own reasons. BoneLab is amazing for its own reasons. They're also both amazing for the same reasons. But the next game is most likely going to be the best of both worlds. So this is all going to be worth the wait. I can't wait to see what Stress Level Zero's got next. BoneLab and BoneWorks have been some of the best experiences of my life, and I can't wait to see more from that company, man. So, is Friday Night Fusion going to come back? We did it last Friday, yes, last night. And hey, I think that's it, guys. BoneLab wins. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for your votes and stuff like that, and thanks to the guys who donated today. Became members and donated gift memberships. You're the best. Thank you so much. And with that said, I don't remember what screens I set up for LavaCast. Hang on. Okay. With that said, I hope you all enjoyed episode 2 of the LavaCast. Would you like to see more? I don't know. I'll see you in 2 weeks. That's when the next one is. Whatever. Goodbye, guys. Thank you very much for being involved in this debate and stuff. It's been fun. And with that said, thanks for watching, and keep building. Did you like my one-liner to finish the stream off? Was that good?